Okay. I asked Jeanette to sit in too, where she's also been discussing and talking about this stuff with different people and help us along a little bit with some of the technology questions that you guys might have that I can't answer.
Tripped along on a very
Yeah.
basic level, but
Okay. Yeah. Well, I guess I'll lead on this one. Basically, Tech Easy. Let's look at Tech Easy. This one. Do you have copies? Do you need them?
I'm gonna just follow along. I've read through stuff at home.
Okay. Did you have one that you already got preference in your mind, or?
I do, but I'm gonna wait until you guys
Okay.
talk this.
Honestly, there's a couple of them here that seem to be one-man operations or two-man operations.
Yeah.
We're had issues in the past with that not working so well. Somebody's on vacation, you can't get a hold of them for a couple of weeks. You need something done right now. So that's kind of why we bid this for a reason. So we're kind of trying to move away from that. Some of these prices that they've quoted, you know, look relatively inexpensive. When you start breaking them down, I'm trying to think, there was one here. Go with Tech Easy, and I didn't break that one down, but it was kind of confusing. The fees for such services would be either on an hourly basis at $50 an hour or an annual charge of $65,000. You know, not covered in said annual fees would be excessive hours. Any over $215 a month would be billed at a rate of $50 an hour. But you already said it was $50 an hour, so I was a little confused with this one. If you break it down to 215 hours per month, times 50 equals, and then times 12 months comes out to $129,000. But in the line above, they said that the annual charge would be $65,000. But I understand that's the high end, and you're playing. I just found this one a little bit confusing myself. I don't know what your guys' thoughts were. Payment for said annual fees would be monthly with a $2,500 down payment due at signing a contract, and that's the other thing. $2,500 down payment for what? You know, it's not saying we bought a block of hours or whatever, so I had some concerns with that. So I didn't like that one. All set? Okay. 207 Tech. I don't know if you have that one right there, Paul.
that's WG. Try that one over there. Is
And
it
that's
on your
paving,
right there?
that's paving.
You see that? Show me the front.
It's got this up in the corner. State of Maine, 207.
No, I haven't got that.
You want me to make some copies? Do you want a copy?
Yeah, you might as well. These,
Might you guys do another one while I make a copy?
Which one? Well, what else is he missing? Let's see. 207 Tech. He's got Tech Easy. Tri-State's got WG. You
Tech.
got Systems Engineering. Do you have Systems Engineering?
I
No.
don't see that one either.
Is that? Yeah, he does right there.
Oh, okay.
Isn't that it?
You've
Yeah.
got it right here, Paul. There's, oh, and there's the other one.
Yeah. Okay, so again, this one presented three different options. Option one was hourly, length of contract 1 year, hourly rate $60 an hour. But it also says your cost per site visit if less than 3 hours. So if you don't spend $180 for them to come over here and do something for you, they're gonna hit you for an additional $30 because they came over here. So really, for that small job, it's $90 an hour. It doesn't give us a remote access price. You know, a lot of times you can call up on the phone and diagnose a problem. They can walk you through it. We did have other prices for that. Option two in this same 207 Tech, monthly retainer of $1,500 a month. Maximum hours per week included in retainer is 2. So for $1,500 a month, the maximum hours that there was 2 hours that we can use. So again, I'm sitting here going,
10 hours
what?
For, 10 hours for the month.
2?
Oh, 2 hours for the month.
I can only go by what's printed here. Yep.
Yeah.
And then they say the hourly rate exceeding included hours per week. So anything over that 2 hours per week, monthly, you said monthly, it would be 8, is what I was going by 4. Yeah, so I made a mistake there. Okay, but hourly rate exceeding included hours per week, which is 2 per week, is an additional $50 per hour. So if you go over the 2 hours per week, it's another $50. So you get a 3-hour job, yeah, and so they're gonna hit you. But you're spending $1,500 retainer,
Every
and
month.
you know. So long story short, I was a little bit confused again on this, and maximum man hours per week was 60.
And $1,500 a month times 12.
And I understand it's a retainer, but it doesn't talk about how they're prorating that. If it will flow from one month to the other, I was again confused. Your 2 hours for 4 weeks, average to 8 hours a month. That comes out to $187.50 an hour. Is the way I did the math on that. So fair or not, that's just how I understood it. I jumped down to option number 3, monthly rate of $7,500. Okay, this is giving you the option of 40 hours per week. So you'd really have almost an employee in here, 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
Okay, saying the hourly rate exceeding those 40 hours per week is an additional $30
Per hour.
or would be $30, I guess. Maximum hours per week is 60. So what I did is I took their monthly rate of $7,500 divided by a 40-hour work week, and you came up to exactly the same as option 2, $187.50. So I think this one tends to look lower, but it's not. It's higher, you know, and that's what I'm afraid of. So again, I said no to 207 Tech. That's where I was at. I'm sorry, Tri-State Computers, to me, yes, it was lower, but that's who we've been using, and we bid it for a reason. So we've been having some issues there. So again, based off of this, nothing's changed, exactly as it was. It even says little items, as has been done in the past, that are nuisance items will be handled as previously done in years past. And I think we've got some issues there. Things not getting posted. I know, and there's kind of a confusion there as far as volunteer time versus paid time. We need to run this like a business. You know, if we need something done, we need it done, and we need it done because you're paying someone, not because they're doing you a favor. And so that's why I shoved that one to the side. So I'll just go through what I come up with, if that's all right. That brought me down to these last two, which is, you know, yeah, more per hour, but what are you getting? I think that's similar to what we looked at with legal counsel. You know, I think that's similar to what we looked at for auditors. If I remember correctly, for $300 more a year, or no, $1,300 more a year, I think it was, or somewhere around there. We went from, you know, a small audit firm, which we had issues with, to a large audit firm. You know, we're getting a lot more value for our money. And so I'm kind of looking at it that way with these. So going with systems engineering, they also broke down quite a long project, putting in a server, core server hardware and stuff like that. They took the initiative to come in here and ask some questions and whatever. I appreciate that initiative, but I took that off and set it off the side because I want to compare apples to apples. Not everybody did that. And so it's kind of difficult at that point. So I come up with systems engineering hourly network administration rates, $160 an hour. This service can be provisioned as 4 hours per month on site or 2 hours per month from our network operations center through remote access.
Which would mean, like, if we had a problem, we could call in, you could get them on the landline telephone or email, or...
Yeah, sometimes they just simple problem they can walk you through. I mean, really.
Right.
They walk you through, and part of that is sometimes I get Trio online, and I get them, and we go into this program, and I say, yes, you can access the computer.
Yes, right.
They access the computer, and they fix it right there,
Yeah.
through a virtual
True.
server.
True.
Right.
True.
So it's all of those things.
I ended up with a big question mark there too, because again, maybe I'm numb, but I just got confused on that. The service can be provisioned as 4 hours per month to come on over, or 2 hours per month if I call you up on the phone. To me, I thought those should be flip-flop. You know, it's going to cost more to come over here than it would to access you on the phone. So I was kind of a a little confused with that.
Were you taking travel into account when you're thinking about that? Because if it takes
Oh, yes and no. I mean, it's going to cost
it
them
takes
more
an
money.
hour to get here and an hour to go, you're talking 4 hours anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just my curiosity. I haven't really read into it. Or 2 hours on the phone because they cut down on the travel time. That's kind of where I'm getting that from.
Again, I mean, why limit us to 4 hours per month if it's on site, 2 hours over the phone? I mean, I don't understand that. I guess the service can be provisioned. It's not saying a discount, it's not saying you're buying a block of time. You know, it's not. I just, what do we got here? That's what I don't know. You know, I mean.
Yeah.
So long story short, it brought me over to WG Tech, which is one of the first ones we first spoke with way back.
Was the first one.
Okay, was the first one. On the surface, their hourly rate for time and material services support is $165 an hour. Billed monthly in 10-minute increments. So again, professional service. Your attorneys bill you on 10-minute increments. Your auditors bill you on 10-minute increments if there's anything over and above the proposal. I kind of like this. It's professional service that they're not going to hit you for the whole hour. You know, if you go an hour and 10, they're going to hit you, you know, that way. What I like when you read the next part is blocks of hours are offered at a discounted rate on a prepaid basis. So now I'm not, you know, they're saying, hey, you can do 4 hours or you can do 2 hour blocks on a monthly basis, but they didn't say you're getting a discount. They didn't say really what you're buying. WG Tech did. You know, if we were to pre-buy X number of hours, they're not requiring a down payment. They're not requiring a deposit, monthly deposit. They're saying you're allowed to buy 25 hours at $150 an hour. So now their rate just dropped by $15 an hour. And you know exactly what you're buying and what you're getting. You know, for $3,750, if that's what we budgeted for, which may or may not, maybe in the beginning might not be excessive, but as we get rolling, you
Are
know.
you sure you don't have to prepay that?
What do you mean?
I thought you just said you don't have to prepay it.
No, discounted rate on a prepaid basis. You prepay it, but you know what you're getting for it.
Oh, okay, got you.
Yeah, you know what you're getting for it. Over here, I don't know
Yeah.
what they're having.
No, I thought you said you don't have to prepay.
If I did, I spoke wrong. But
So, I was confused.
so they gave an example. The most often purchased block is for 25 hours at $150 an hour, which comes to $3,750. So you know what you're buying. They're not requiring you to do 25. If I remember right, that's what he even said when
We're
he was
looking.
in.
No, that's.
And these
Does
hours
that
can be
include
used for
us-
anything.
Does that include our new setup? I understand we're gonna be putting in a server and all that. Does that include that server and stuff on this first one?
Again, no, because that's not what we really asked them to quote on, and that's
Right.
why I took out of systems engineering. Glad they took the initiative to see, hey, I want to see what you guys got, this and that. But I had to take that quote because that's not really what we were after. We were looking for
So they're saying,
what.
these guys are saying $3,700 and something a year, basically.
That's what you can buy. What they're saying is if you bought 25 hours at 150, they did the math for us. That would come out to $3,750. If that's what you felt you needed was 25 hours,
Right.
cut them a check and it's available. And then it says these hours can be used for any type of service the town requires,
Okay.
including projects, installations, repairs, assessments, consulting.
That's what I was after.
Yep, included with this response brochures that are
That's what
of
I
our
thought
service
they
offerings.
said.
Yep.
And nothing up front.
And nothing up front. I know for a fact they also do several municipalities, so they have municipality experience.
Do you pay them the $37.50 when you hire them?
No, what they're saying, you could do 20-hour blocks.
Oh, okay, all right.
Right. What they're saying is you can, it's that $37.50, it's, I don't know what the actual saving is, but you're saving over their regular standard rate by buying the hours ahead.
So in that example, you would be saving $375 by prepaying,
So based on a year.
based on whatever. Yeah, it's good for the year. It's based on whatever.
Oh yeah.
It's a block of time until
Saves it,
until
yeah.
it expires.
Yeah.
So, I personally like that. You know, if you wanted to do a 10-hour block, then we do a 10-hour block. It's $1,500 if you, you know, gives you very different options, and we kind of control the cost and what's going to be spent. I don't like signing up with a, deposit, and different things. I don't like that. And
Well,
it really
when you
doesn't
add up-
explain.
When you add up things from any of these people for a year, you can get quite a variance in prices.
Oh, sure.
And what appears to be really low cost is not necessarily true.
But just also on this one too, which they've all pretty much put on there. We read these the other night.
Yeah.
But they're willing to provide services in network administration, which is, we've looked at. We need a server. There's some issues here in the office. Recommendations and assistance with software purchases, software installations and upgrades, recommendations and assistance with hardware purchases, computers, printers, whatever, hardware installations and upgrades if we need it, security payment process, so there's things that they can look at, they've got the experience to look at, maybe some others do, but they didn't mention that, but when you swipe your credit card out there, this day and age, you want to make darn sure it's secure. Because if something
Make
went,
sure you put it in something secure when you put it back in your pocket, because somebody can walk by and grab it
Yeah.
with one of these readers.
so I guess that's my thoughts on that. I know that they were the hire, but I think we're going to get professional service. You're going to have a company that responds quickly. And I was leaning towards WG Tech out of everything there.
They seem to be the most clear on what they're offering. That was my thoughts too.
They also have done a little bit of research, and I don't know what the outcome was, but I know that they were bidding on Maine Municipal Association too. So, I don't think
We're
business.
gonna have to compete with them.
I don't
We
think
better find
business,
somebody else.
business and municipal, it's gonna be too much different. But if there was anything, then, they're well equipped. They handle a lot of towns and cities. So, but over the last couple of years, I've seen issues with what we have. I appreciate volunteerism and whatnot, but we also have to have a professional service that, when asked, it's ready to go.
I've seen some times we think we were waiting for things, it seems. Yeah. What are you thinking, Mr. Neville?
Yeah. They have to show up when you need them.
That's the thing. That's the thing about our town these days, we need to be able to move things.
It's not the lowest price per hour, and I'll readily admit that, but
But
I'm afraid that what you get what you
A
pay
lot
for.
of times-
sometimes you,
Yeah.
like the generators.
Value.
You know what I
Value
mean?
store.
I don't like to spend money, but
Yep.
if you
No.
have the same type,
Yep.
What are you getting for your money? That's the question.
I'd like to open it up just for any comments for anybody viewing right now if you want, just to see if anybody has something we didn't think about.
Sure.
I don't know if you had any.
I actually had a question when you were talking about the final one there, WG Tech.
Yeah.
There seemed to be a little misunderstanding, so I want to make sure I understood. You can buy that 25 hours for $37.50, or you can buy 20 hours or whatever, in however long it takes you to use it. So if you use 25 hours in a week, it costs you $37.50 for the week.
Correct.
But if you don't use it and you want to save it and use it for the next project, you could use it next month or next year. It doesn't matter how long.
Correct.
Or does it, if you buy 25 hours and your contract is for a year, what happens at the end of that year if you haven't used the 25 hours?
That I don't know, but hopefully we're wise enough to be paying attention to what we're buying.
Because I mean, I know setting up a server is going to cost you
Yeah.
a lot more than 25 hours.
Yep.
So
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. And I think they're also willing to come down and discuss and guide as well as to, so we're not spending, hey, let's buy 100 hours because that's what we think it's going to take, and it's only going to take them 20, and we're stuck with extra hours. So I know they're very good.
So they'll give you a recommendation, like, why
Yes.
don't you start off buying 30 hours
Yeah.
and see where you go from there?
Sure. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, I'll make a motion that we accept the bid from WG Tech.
Second,
All in favor?
you got it, Royce?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, these are, we're gonna rip up, right? Shred.
Yeah, I'll leave these copies for Sue, and I'll just send a letter out thanking them for bidding.